All right, hello everyone. We are group 7. We are going to presentate the 7 material about segmental and suprasegmental features. All right, I need get to the permission to share my screen first. All right, before we start, we open this presentation with Panganjali Umat Om Swastiastu. All right, before we start, we will introduce ourselves first. My name is Nikada Dwi Savitri Dewi. My student number 2311171011, and my friends.
My name is Nika Trisnawati. The student number is 2311171055, and my friends.
My name is Tijrosi Swastini. My student name is 2311171078.
All right, move to the table of content. The first one is definition, second one segmental, third one suprasegmental, and the last one advantages and disadvantages. All right, move to the first content. Segmental and suprasegmental refer to two levels of linguistic features that deals with sound in speech. Sound in speech are the individual sounds that make up words and are created by using the mouth, tongue, lips, teeth, and other parts of the body. Segmental or segmental features are features in utterance which can be segmented out of an utterance such as consonant and vowels. However, segmental alone can never be pronounced. They must always be pronounced with some degree of loudness or stress and also with certain degree of highness or lowness of tone, which is called pitch. These features are what we call suprasegmental, right? Move to the segmental. Segmental features in linguistics refer to the individual units of sound in speech that can be analyzed separately, typically phonemes. Phonemes, which are the smallest units of sounds that can be distinguished meaning in the language. For example, the difference between the sounds P and B in English. Segmental is primarily concerned with consonant and vowels in their characteristic. There are two features of segmental. The first one is consonant. Consonant are sounds produced by obstructing the airflow in some way, such as P, P, K, S, and etc. There are three parts of consonant. The first one is place of articulation. Place of articulation refers to the location in the vocal tract where the airflow is constant in modified to produce a particular speech sound, also known as phoneme. For example, bilabial, both lips come together to block and make a sounds like P and B. They are also alveolar and dental and etc. And second one, manner of articulation. Manner of articulation refers to how airflow is modified during the produce of speech sounds or segments. It describes the type of constriction or closure made the vocal tract which distinguishes one consonant sound from other. The third one is voicing. Voicing refers to whether the vocal sounds are vibrating during the production of a consonant sound. The feature is a key aspect of the articulation of speech sounds and help distinguish between sounds that otherwise have similar place and manners of articulation. Next, we have vowels. Vowels is uh, sounds produced without significant construction in the vocal tract and are typically voiced. There are three parts of vowels. The first one is height. Height. Height is vertical tongue position. The second one, vagueness. Vagueness is horizontal tongue position. And the third one, roundness. Roundness is lip position. Next, there are three functions of segmental features. The first one, distinguishing phoneme. Distinguishing between phoneme, which are the smallest units of sound in the language. By manipulating these features, language can create a vast array of words with distinct meaning. Second one, creating words meaning. Creating words meaning. Segmental features help create the meaning of word by forming specific sounds patterns that carry linguistic significance. The third one is phonological process and alternations. Segmental features are involved in various phonological processes, which are rules governing how sounds can change in different contexts. Next, there are some addition of segmental. Segmental features refer to sound units arranged in the sequential order. For example, word written has four segmental features or phonemes. They are R, E, T, N. Four segmental features and phoneme. There are three consonants and one vowel. Segmental can be studied in isolation. For example, written. A single segmental phoneme W is semivowel or glide consonant. I is unrounded half close to close front vowel. Phoneme P can be said as segmental phoneme in initial utterance, whole, whole, media utterance, apart, apart, final utterance, help, help. All right, that's all of segmental. Move to the suprasegmental. It will be present by Wisma. Wisma, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time, Dwi. Now I will explain about suprasegmental. Suprasegmental refers to aspect of speech that exists above the level of individual sound or phonemes, typically including elements like pitch, stress, intonation, and duration. These features are critical in communication because they can change the meaning, structure, or emotional tone of spoken language. Unlike segmental features, which are phonemes, such as consonant and vowels. Suprasegmental influence entire syllables, word, or phrases. Next slide, Dwi. So there are key of a suprasegmental. The first is pitch. That is, each of the syllables has some degree of lowness and highness of tone, which is called pitch. Pitch level 1 and 2 is mid, 3 is high, and 4 is extra. And then the function of speech in non-tonal language like English, pitch help convey meaning through intonation patterns. In tonal language, pitch is used at the level individual words to distinguish meaning. For example, is morning, more, and morning, quickly, quickly, family, family, like that. So the second one is intonation, a suprasegmental feature that involves how a speaker chooses to rise, lower, and sustain the pitch or of their voice and certain point in speech. Intonation is way for a speaker to make their speech clearer. And then um, the function of intonation can indicate the type of sentence. For example, statement, question, comment, and can alter the emotional tone or intent of the speaker. Next slide, Dwi. Okay, the third is stress. Stress refers to the emphasis given to a particular syllable of word during speech. The first is stress syllables. The second one is word stress, and the last one is sentence stress. So the function of stress can distinguish meaning of words and phrases. It play a critical role in language like English, where stress can differentiate between nouns and verbs. Okay, next is duration. Duration is suprasegmental features of speech that refers to the length of time it takes to pronounce a sound syllable. So the function is in some language, the duration of vowel or consonant can change the meaning of a word. For example, vowel length in Japanese can differentiate between words. There are two duration of suprasegmental. The first is longer duration. For example, late, he, sent. And then the second one is shorter duration, like let, he, sent. Next slide, please. Okay. Now I will explain about function of suprasegmental. The first is disambiguating meaning. The second one is signaling sentence types. The third one is expressing emotion and attitudes. And the last one is structuring discourse. So the first is disambiguating meaning. Suprasegmental can differentiate meanings of word or sentence that will otherwise sound identical. This is especially important in language with homophones or words that have multiple meanings. The second one is signaling sentence types. The intonation of a sentence, sentence can signal whether it is a statement, question, or comment. For example, resting intonation typically signal a yes or no question in English, while filling intonation signals a declarative sentence. The third is expressing emotion and attitudes. Intonation and stress patterns convey the speaker emotional state or attitude towards the subject. A sarcastic tone, for example, can change the meaning of a sentence. And then the last one is structuring discourse. In a longer conversation or narrative, suprasegmental helps structure information, highlight important part of a message, or indicate the end of a talk. I think that's all. Thank you.
All right, move to the advantages and disadvantages. It will be present with by Jerosis Swastini. Jero, time is yours.
All right, Dwi, thank you for the time. So now I will explain about the advantages and disadvantages of about. Next slide, Dwi. All right, the first one is advantages of segmental and suprasegmental. The advantages of segmental, the first one is concrete and tangible. Segmental features such as individual phonemes, vowels, and consonant are relatively easy to identify and isolate. The second one, basic for suprasegmentals. A solid understanding of segmental features is essential for understanding and producing suprasegmental features such as stress, intonation, and rhythm. The last one is clarity is important. Accurate pronunciation of individual sounds is critical to clear and effective communication. Okay, the next is advantages of suprasegmental. The first one is conveying meaning and emotion. Suprasegmental features such as stress, tone, and intonation play an important role in conveying meaning, attitude, and emotion. The second is natural and fluent speech. Appropriate use of suprasegmental features contribute to natural and influent speech, improving overall language proficiency. The last one is social and cultural significance. Suprasegmental features might vary across language and cultures, reflecting social cultural identity. Next slide. All right, so this is the disadvantages of segmental and suprasegmental. The disadvantages of segmental, the first one is limited contextual information. Segmental features alone cannot fully convey meaning or emotion. Segmental features require the support of suprasegmental features to be interpreted correctly. The second one is potential for misinterpretation. Without considering suprasegmental cues, segmental information can be misinterpreted, especially in language with complex intonation patterns or tone system. Next is the disadvantages of suprasegmental. The first one is subtle and complex. Suprasegmental features are often subtle and difficult to perceive and produce accurately. Number second is highly divided on context. The interpretation of suprasegmental features is highly dependent on context, including the speaker intent and the listener's background knowledge. The last one is difficulty in isolation. Unlike segmental features, suprasegmental features are often difficult to isolate and analyze separately. All right, that's all for the advantages and disadvantages of segmental and suprasegmental. So I give return to you. Thank you.
All right, that's that's all for our material today. Uh, if you have any question, you can note or write down in the paper first, and we will discuss it in the next meeting. In this meeting, in English phonology subject. All right. Next, move to the conclusion. I will read the conclusion. All right. Segmental and suprasegmental refer to two levels linguistic feature that deal with sounds in speech. Segmental features in linguistics refer to the individual units of sound in speech that can be analyzed separately, typically phonemes. Segmental is primarily concerned with consonant and vowels and their characteristic. Suprasegmentals refer to the aspect of speech that exists about the level of individual sounds or phonemes, typically including elements like pitch, stress, intonation, and duration. These features are critical in communication because they can change the meaning, structure, or emotional tone of spoken language. There are some advantages from segmental, that is concrete and tangible, and from suprasegmental, conveying meaning and emotion. And also there are disadvantages, limited contextual information of segmental and highly depends of on context of suprasegmental. All right, that's all of us about segmental and suprasegmental features. We hope you all can understand the material, and if you have any question, you can uh, type it in the paper first, and we will discuss it in meeting English phonology class. If we do apologize if we have any mistake or problem uh, during the presentation. All right, that's all for us. We close this presentation with Parma Santi. Om Santi Santi Santi. Thank you.